Lizzo broke down in tears as she spoke about the devastating loss of Shirley Raines, the woman millions came to know and love as Beauty2thestreetz, whose sudden passing at the age of 58 has left an emotional void across social media, activist spaces, and the lives of countless people she helped. This wasn't just another headline or a fleeting trending topic. This was the loss of a woman whose presence felt grounding, whose energy felt healing, and whose compassion felt limitless. For Lizzo, this loss wasn't distant or abstract. It was personal, painful, and deeply human. The news of Shirley's death spread quickly and painfully, rippling through timelines and group chats with a heaviness that was impossible to ignore. She was found unresponsive at her home after loved ones requested a wellness check when they couldn't reach her. Authorities later confirmed her passing, but details surrounding the cause of death have not been publicly released. That lack of clarity has only intensified the grief. For many, the unanswered questions created a sense of disbelief, as if the mind refuses to catch up with the reality. One moment, Shirley was posting videos, laughing, serving meals, uplifting people, and spreading love. The next moment, she was gone. As people struggled to process the shock, Lizzo took to social media and shared raw, emotional videos that captured the depth of her grief. Her voice trembled as she tried to speak, tears streamed freely down her face. There was no performance, no polish, no attempt to present strength for the camera. This was grief in its purest form. She spoke as someone who had lost not only an inspiration, but a friend, a supporter, and a woman who showed up for her when it mattered most. Lizzo described Shirley as an incredible woman, a true leader, and a light in a world that often feels dark. She spoke about how devastating it felt to lose someone who spent her life giving to others without ever asking for recognition, praise, or applause. Shirley didn't do her work for attention. She didn't serve people to go viral. She served people because she genuinely cared. Lizzo made it clear that Shirley's impact went far beyond viral moments or charitable headlines. Shirley was consistent, she was present, she was loving, even when it was hard. To truly understand why this loss has shaken so many people, you have to understand who Shirley Raines was and what she stood for. Shirley was the founder of Beauty2thestreetz, a nonprofit organization dedicated to serving unhoused communities, particularly in Los Angeles' Skid Row. But her work was never limited to distributing food or supplies. It was about restoring dignity to people who are too often treated as invisible, disposable, or forgotten. Shirley didn't approach homelessness with pity or judgment. She approached it with respect. In her videos, she greeted people warmly, calling them kings and queens, looking them in the eye, hugging them, laughing with them, and listening to their stories. She offered meals, hygiene kits, clean clothes, and sometimes full makeovers. But more than anything, she offered humanity. She made people feel seen. She made people feel valued. That authenticity is what made her content resonate so deeply with millions of viewers around the world. Her journey into this work was shaped by profound personal loss. Years earlier, Shirley experienced the unimaginable pain of losing her son, a tragedy that changed her life forever. Instead of allowing that grief to consume her, she transformed it into purpose. She often spoke openly about how serving others helped her survive her own heartbreak. Helping people gave her a reason to keep going. In many ways, Beauty2thestreetz was born out of grief, but it grew into a movement rooted in love, empathy, and resilience. As her platform grew, Shirley gained millions of followers across social media. Her videos were shared widely, not because they were flashy, but because they were real. Yet, even as her influence expanded, fame never changed her mission. She continued showing up on the streets, rain or shine, serving people directly. She used her platform to raise awareness, collect donations, and amplify voices that society often ignores. She showed the world the faces, personalities, humor, pain, and strength behind homelessness, forcing people to confront their assumptions and see unhoused individuals as human beings deserving of care and respect. Lizzo became connected to Shirley through that shared commitment to community and giving back. Over the years, Shirley participated in Lizzo's Juneteenth events and outreach initiatives, helping distribute food, clothing, and essential supplies to those in need. Lizzo openly spoke about donating clothes, including pieces from her own brand and personal wardrobe, to support Shirley's mission. Through tears, Lizzo even recalled moments of laughter, remembering Shirley joking about everyone wearing Lizzo's coats and how proud she was to help people feel stylish, confident, and dignified. But her relationship went deeper than public charity events or shared projects. In her emotional tribute, Lizzo revealed that Shirley supported her privately during some of the most challenging moments of her life. When Lizzo felt overwhelmed by criticism, isolated by public scrutiny, or weighed down by pressure, Shirley reached out. She sent messages of encouragement. She reminded Lizzo of her worth, her strength, and her impact. She didn't do it publicly. She didn't seek credit. She simply cared. That's what made Shirley so special. She gave love freely and without conditions. She poured into others without expecting anything in return. Lizzo shared that during times when it felt like the world was turning its back on her, Shirley stood firm, offering compassion and reassurance. Losing someone like that doesn't just hurt, it shakes you. It leaves a space that feels impossible to fill. As Lizzo grieved publicly, fans responded with an overwhelming wave of support. Comment sections were flooded with condolences, broken heart emojis, and messages thanking Shirley for changing lives. Many people shared personal stories of encounters they had with Shirley on the streets, recalling how she remembered their names, their favorite foods, or small details that made them feel important. Some said Shirley was the first person in a long time who treated them like they mattered. Others shared how watching Shirley's videos inspired them to volunteer, donate, or completely rethink how they viewed people experiencing homelessness. She changed perspectives. She challenged stereotypes. She reminded people that kindness doesn't have to be complicated or performative. It just has to be sincere. Fellow activists, content creators, and public figures also paid tribute, calling Shirley a force of nature, a trailblazer, and a woman who redefined what social media could be used for. She didn't exploit suffering. She didn't sensationalize pain. She showed joy alongside struggle, laughter alongside hardship, and resilience alongside vulnerability. She allowed people to be fully human in front of the camera, without shame. Shirley's family has spoken about their devastation, describing her as a loving mother, sister, and aunt whose heart truly belonged to the people she served. They expressed deep gratitude for the outpouring of love and support from around the world and encouraged supporters to honor Shirley's legacy by continuing her work and supporting Beauty2thestreetz. Plans are already in motion to ensure that her mission continues, fueled by the community she built and the lives she touched. What makes this loss even more painful is how unexpected it was. Shirley was active, she was present, she was still serving. There was no warning, no goodbye, no final message. One day she was on the streets, feeding people and spreading love, and the next day she was gone. That suddenness has left many people grieving in shock, struggling to accept the reality of her absence. For Lizzo, the grief has been impossible to hide. Her tears resonated because they were real. They reflected not only sadness, but gratitude. Gratitude for having known someone like Shirley, for being supported by her, and for witnessing the impact of her life firsthand. She emphasized that Shirley's legacy does not end with her passing. It lives on in every person she helped, every life she touched, and every act of kindness inspired by her example. Shirley Raines didn't just feed people, she fed souls. She reminded people of their worth when the world tried to convince them they had none. She showed that beauty isn't about appearance or status, but about compassion, empathy, and how you treat others when no one is watching. Her life proved that one person, driven by love and purpose, can create change that ripples far beyond what we can see. As the world continues to mourn, this moment serves as a powerful reminder of how fragile life is and how important it is to show up for one another while we can. Shirley's story is not just about loss, it's about legacy. It's about choosing love over indifference, action over apathy, and humanity over judgment. Lizzo's emotional tribute captured that truth in the most raw and honest way possible. Through tears, she honored a woman who stood by her, uplifted others, and lived with intention.
And in doing so, she reminded millions of people watching that the true impact of a life isn't measured by fame, money, or followers, but how many hearts you touch and how much love you leave behind. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.